There we are. That's the WSM, and we'll try opening up and see what's inside. This looks like the bottom grade for the charcoal, lower cooking grade, upper cooking grade. There's a pretty well protected with these pressed pulpboard. Go put this over on the table. A box of what's labeled small parts kit for the 18-inch Smoky Mountain. Set that down for on the grill. Let's see what else we find in here. I'm guessing that'll be the heat shield. I'm thinking this is probably the water pan. Ring for the charcoal, and this is the heat shield. Okay. Center section of the grill. Get that plastic off of there. That's a little bit tricky understanding how that works. Once you get it, I guess it's not bad, but I didn't understand it fast enough. Another one of these fine that's got to be the bottom of the grill, which we'll just carefully set down. There's the top. There's the weather cover for leaving it outside. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be real easy to hear me because I'm a little bit far away from the camera because I've got it pulled back just a little bit. But the instructions in English and Spanish and French are in this little small parts box, and they begin on page 28 with a list of all the parts and a picture of the parts, and the actual instructions are on page 29. So the first thing we're supposed to do is put the legs onto the bottom heat shield. And by the way, these things are getting hot out here in the sun. I suppose I should have expected that. They're black. There's little holes. I don't think you can see them, but they're right there. And this goes up. Like that. There's one. Here's the next one. Here we are. Two. Bring that a little bit closer. You can see them. There's a little piece of cut metal there. Go right through. And that's that. That hook's on there. Set it down on a chair for a moment and see what's next. By the way, the instruction kit indicates that we need both a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver, what my daughter used to call a plus and a minus screwdriver, and a 17/16 inch wrench, both of which I've got around here somewhere. And, they're there, set them down. So, the next thing is to assemble the base of the unit to the part that I just assembled. This thing has really got hot. A small bag of pieces parts. Nuts and bolts, which I'm going to keep in the box so I don't lose any of them. We need a nut, a bolt, and a washer. 3 each. 1, 2, 3 there. 1, 2, 3 there. 1, 2. 3 or 6? Probably 6. There. We have a base unit. The next step is to put brackets on the inside of the central piece. So we'll set this down in the shade so it'll cool off. Not that anything is cool today. You can see these little holes. It looks like each of those takes 2 bolts. So, 4 of them. this case the washer goes on the outside. It's a plastic washer. Well, that sucks, stagnant swamp water. That don't make sense. I don't know if you can see this real well, but I'm standing here in the shade and on the patio right now, and just before this, in the part of the video that showed me putting together the Weber Smokey Mountain, I was standing in the sun. So what's happened? Well, a few hours have gone past, and you may have noticed at the end of the previous section that I was having a little trouble. And it's because of a quality control issue at the Weber grill manufacturing plant. They put the wrong small pieces assembly in the box with my Weber Smokey Mountain grill. And that has caused me just a few hours worth of trouble. What basically happened is I bought an 18.5-inch Weber Smokey Mountain, and the small pieces bag said 18.5-inch Weber Smokey Mountain grill, but in fact it was the small pieces assembly bag for the 22-inch. And the problem with that is that the 22-inch has a different size bracket for holding up the water pan and the lower of the two racks. So the holes, the length of the bracket and the position of the holes that are drilled into the central section of the Weber Smokey Mountain are not the same on the 18.5 and the 22-inch WSMs. And that has caused me no end of trouble. So what I've got here, just to show you, is the bracket that came with my Weber Smokey Mountain 18.5-inch. And I'm going to move the camera down so you can see where the holes are and why this doesn't work. So what I've done is I've put two screws just loosely in there, not really attached, into the holes that exist here. And these holes are 6 inches apart. Now normally this bracket would go on the inside and the screws would go through these holes. But you can see here where the screws are. I'll line up the top one. You can see that the bottom one here is 1 inch away. On the bracket that I've got for, whoops, I dropped it. Well, anyways, the bracket is made for the 22-inch Weber Smokey Mountain, and it uses 7-inch centers on the holes. So, upside down, there's the problem. I couldn't attach it down here. So, I bought this online from a local store, not online from Amazon or whoever else might sell them. So once I discovered the problem today, we loaded everything into the back of the car and drove down to the store from whence I bought this and showed it to the owner of the store. And he was amazed to see the quality control problems where Weber had placed the wrong small parts kit into the box. He remembered me being in there yesterday afternoon late and buying this, and he remembered that the box itself was factory sealed, and he was very apologetic. He immediately called either the wholesaler or Weber's store themselves and we're having the correct parts overnight shipped, but today's a Saturday, so they won't ship till Monday. I'll get them on Tuesday, which means I should be able to use this again on Wednesday, which is the 4th of July. So for tonight I won't be using the new Weber Smokey Mountain, nor will I tomorrow, but I can last a couple more days. Which in fact, if you think about it, is what I would be waiting for if I had ordered this online yesterday afternoon. I wouldn't get it until Tuesday of next week anyways. And what would have happened had I ordered this online and had the wrong parts? I would spend probably weeks arguing with somebody, you know, 1,000 miles away, that I have the wrong parts and the day that Weber shipped the wrong thing. By buying local, and by the way, it was the exact same price. By buying local, I was able to take the parts back, show the store owner it was wrong, and he fixed it for me. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to have that kind of local service. So I'm going to end this video with the assembly of the Weber Smokey Mountain by leaving it sit the way it is until the correct parts get in a few days, and then I will do a new video to finish the assembly and maybe do some cooking. But I wanted to pass on that one needs to be very careful about checking all the component parts and what you get from Weber, because while I've seen other videos on the web and on YouTube that say Weber does a great job, I can tell you Weber's quality control for what they place in their kits, in my case, was wrong and prevented me from fully assembling my Weber Smokey Mountain 18.5-inch grill or smoker. So that's the end of this video, and thank you very much for watching.